The information provided in this podcast episode is for entertainment purposes and is not medical advice. If you have any questions about your health, contact a medical professional. This content is strictly the opinions of Lucas Owen and is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The references, claims, and scientific information linked to any products are only applicable to those listeners who are based in the US. If you are outside the US, this information does not apply to you. It is not intended to provide medical advice or to take the place of medical advice or treatment from a personal physician. All viewers of this content are advised to consult with their doctors or qualified health professionals regarding specific health questions. Thank you for listening to the Boost Your Biology podcast. My name is Lucas Owen. I uncover the most cutting edge health information on the planet, ranging from hormones, nutrition, supplementation, fat loss, biohacking, longevity, wellness, and a whole lot more. Welcome to the Boost Your Biology podcast. Guys, I've said this before and I'll say it again that I truly do think that peptides are the future of medicine. What I'll do is actually explore the power of peptides for healing, longevity, and overall wellness. Let's explore what are peptides. Now, peptides are molecules made up of amino acids, which are building blocks of proteins. Now, when amino acids link together in a chain, they form what we call peptides. Now, these chains can vary in length from just a few amino acids to several dozen. Now, peptides play crucial roles in biological processes within living organisms. They can act as signaling molecules carrying messages between cells, tissues, and organs. Additionally, peptides can have structural functions helping to provide support and shape to cells and tissues. In terms of their structure, peptides are smaller than proteins, typically consisting of fewer than 50 amino acids. However, larger peptides can sometimes be classified as proteins depending on their size and complexity. Now, overall, peptides are essential components of life involved in a wide range of physiological processes, including hormone regulation, immune response, and neurotransmission. So you're probably wondering now, why are so many people catching on to peptides and why are so many people using peptides? Well, people are increasingly interested in using peptides for various reasons, mainly due to their potential health and cosmetic benefits, and here's why they're appealing. Number one, the biological significance. Peptides are naturally occurring molecules in the human body, and they're involved in numerous physiological processes. This inherent biological relevance makes them attractive for therapeutic and cosmetic applications. Now, peptides can be designed to target specific biological pathways, receptors, or molecules within the human body. This specificity allows for precision in therapeutic interventions, minimizing off-target effects and reducing the risk of adverse reactions. Now, if we look at the diverse functions, peptides exhibit a wide range of functions, including hormone regulation, immune modulation, wound healing, and antimicrobial activity. Now, this versatility opens up opportunities for developing peptide-based treatments for various health conditions. In addition, we can see potential therapeutic applications, so peptides hold promise as therapeutic agents for treating various diseases and medical conditions. They can mimic the actions of natural peptides in the body or be designed to have novel functions, offering potential treatments for conditions such as diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular disease, and neurodegenerative disorders. So let's talk about my favorite peptide, and that is BPC 157 or Body Protective Compound 157. Now, BPC 157 has stood out as a very powerful and effective peptide to accelerate recovery. Now, BPC 157 is a groundbreaking peptide known for its ability to promote rapid healing of muscles, tendons, ligaments, and even bones. In addition, BPC may assist with enhancing performance. So whether you're an athlete pushing your limits or someone simply striving to achieve peak performance, BPC 157 can give you the edge you need by supporting tissue repair and reducing inflammation, it helps you bounce back stronger and ready to conquer any challenge. Now, this is something that I personally have noticed. And if you have used BPC 157, leave a comment down below. Let's get a discussion going. BPC 157 was life changing for me. In fact, when I tore my medial meniscus playing soccer many years ago, I used BPC 157 to accelerate the recovery of my torn medial meniscus. And within 2 to 3 weeks after using BPC 157 orally at around 250 to 500 micrograms per evening, not only did I notice that my deep sleep score went up significantly, but I also noticed that my pain in my medial meniscus completely went away. And I was just completely blown away because I said that I was going to need surgery to heal that, fix that injury. So that was, life changing for me. And that's when I started researching it and sharing information about it. So we can see, in addition to the healing benefits, it combats inflammation. Now, chronic inflammation can wreak havoc on your body and hinder your ability to perform at your best. Now, BPC 157 acts as a potent anti-inflammatory agent, soothing sore muscles and joints and restoring balance to your body. Now, unlike many conventional treatments that come with a laundry list of side effects, BPC 157 harnesses the body's own healing mechanisms to promote recovery naturally. Now, it's safe, effective, and backed by years of scientific research, and most of the initial research was conducted for gut healing. So, if we look at BPC 157 itself, BPC is a partial sequence of body protection compound found in human gastric juice. Now, it is a peptide, and that basically means that it's a combination or a sequence of amino acids. And here's why so many people are talking about and raving on about BPC 157. Number one is that it's orally bioavailable. And that's why I believe BPC 157 is one of the best peptides of 2024. It's orally bioavailable. It does not need to be injected, although it can be injected. It heals injuries. It fixes many gut issues such as IBS, chronic gastrointestinal complaints. It deepens sleep, and this is reported through a number of my clients who have used BPC 157. They've noticed improvements in their deep sleep quality. It reverses brain damage in some cases based on the literature, and it also has a potent pain-killing effect. Now, BPC 157 has been researched to improve healing of many types of wounds, protects the intestinal organs, and prevents stomach ulcers, combats leaky gut, IBS, gastrointestinal cramps, and Crohn's disease, accelerates healing of skin burns. It works as an anti-inflammatory. It maintains the integrity of the mucosal lining of the GI tract. It repairs tissues of GIT, tendons, ligaments, brain, bones, etc., and improves digestive function. So that's definitely BPC 157. If you want to learn more about that, I have dedicated another video on BPC 157. Make sure you search that on my channel. Number 2 on the list as a powerful, effective orally active peptide is GHKCU, or the copper peptide. Now, based on the research, GHKCU is a peptide containing copper, glycine, histidine, and lysine. It is technically a naturally occurring peptide that can be found within human serum without supplementation. But supplementation of GHKCU increases plasma levels to super physiological levels to induce a myriad of beneficial adaptations. Now, some of these benefits include wound healing and tissue repair. So GHKCU has been shown to accelerate wound healing in the skin, hair, follicles, gastrointestinal tract, bone, tissue, and foot pads of dogs. It can induce systemic wound healing in rats, mice, and pigs. It also has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. GHKCU has powerful cell protective actions, including anti-inflammatory effects and the ability to suppress molecules thought to accelerate aging like NF-kappa B. It also may possess anti-cancer activity. GHKCU has been proposed as a therapeutic agent for metastatic colon cancer due to its multiple anti-cancer activities. Now, the lung protection and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease treatment. GHKCU has been found to protect the lungs and restore the function of fibroblasts in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It has anti-anxiety, anti-pain, and anti-aggression effects. GHKCU has been shown to have beneficial effects on the nervous system, including anti anxiety, anti pain, and anti aggression activities. It also appears to possess DNA repair and cell cleansing. GHKCU can activate DNA repair mechanisms and cell cleansing via the proteasome system. In summary, the research indicates that GHKCU has a wide range of protective and regenerative effects beyond just skin benefits, including on wound healing, inflammation, cancer, lung health, the nervous system, and cellular processes. Now, the benefits explored further, copper itself is a vital micronutrient for the proper functioning of hundreds of different enzymes, particularly those in the respiratory chain. Now, copper is also vital for the immune system and plays critical roles during tissue healing. With that being said, GHKCU is a copper peptide with a myriad of signaling functions that go above and beyond what copper in and of itself elicits. GHKCU increases the production of fibroblast growth factors and vascular endothelial growth factors, which aid in the creation and repair of blood vessels. Moreover, GHKCU powerfully attracts the immune system to repair damaged cellular debris during the tissue healing process and promotes the reversal of abnormal skin conditions. In addition, GHKCU increases osteoblastic activity, thereby increasing bone density and bone healing and increasing collagen synthesis. As mentioned, it's a powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, thought to be even stronger than glutathione, one of the strongest endogenous antioxidants. So, GHKCU appears to work by altering gene expression. In this sense, GHKCU can actually activate stem cells within the gastrointestinal tract and connective tissue to increase the regeneration of damaged tissue. Now, this is why GHKCU appears to be so beneficial when it comes to improving gut health and improving skin degeneration. So you're probably wondering now how to take it. Now, GHKCU has a half-life within the serum of about 1 hour. Thus, one can dose GHKCU multiple times throughout the day to maximize its myriad of beneficial effects. However, for most people, supplementation with GHKCU at the beginning and the end of the day will maximize its potential benefits and decrease one's susceptibility to interfering with their proper copper to zinc ratio. Now, does GHKCU actually work orally? In some cases, GHKCU may not work early. However, this formulation that I'm linking down below in the video description is actually unique and special. They combine copper peptide with sodium bicarbonate, a stomach acid neutralizer, which can decrease GHKCU degradation within the stomach. So basically, the addition of the sodium bicarbonate may actually potentiate and make the GHKCU bypass the stomach acid, and actually become orally bioavailable. So next up, we have TB4 peptide fragments. Now, TB4 and TB500 are injectable forms only. What I'm referring to here is TB4 peptide fragments. So TB4 orally can be broken down and administered as fragments of the parent thymosin beta-4 peptide as ACSDKP or N-acetylceryl aspartyl lysyl proline, and as LKKTETQ, also known as TB500. So these two key fragments of the TB4 peptide have distinct but complementary biological activities related to inflammation, fibrosis, angiogenesis, and tissue repair. So here are the following benefits of these two types. It reduces inflammation and inflammatory cell infiltration in the heart, kidney, lung, and liver. It inhibits fibrosis and collagen deposition in the cardiovascular and renal systems. It improves cardiovascular function and reduces cardiac damage. It ameliorates renal insufficiency or kidney insufficiency and mesangial expansion in diabetic kidney disease. It enhances angiogenesis and blood vessel growth. It promotes nervous system tissue remodeling and improves neurological function after injury. It slows or reverses cognitive decline and enhances autophagy in Alzheimer's disease models. It preserves cardiovascular function when administered during emergency situations, and it works synergistically with antibiotics to more effectively treat bacterial infections. Now, the key difference is that ACLKKTETQ, the central actin binding domain of thymosin beta 4, primarily binds to and regulates actin, while the AC-SDKP has a wider range of anti inflammatory, antifibrotic, and tissue protective effects. Now, thymosin beta 4 is an endogenously produced peptide with the broad overall function of decreasing inflammation, decreasing one's propensity to fibrosis and scarring, and improving wound healing and tissue regeneration. Now, as the ACSDKP and the ACLKKTETQ, that's a bit of a mouthful, are orally active fragments of thymosin beta 4 that elicit many of the positive and regenerative properties of its parent peptide TB500 without the need to inject. So, like I've said many times with peptides, it's all about the form that you're using that determines whether or not it's going to be effective. Now, promising effects include gastrointestinal, musculoskeletal, and connective tissue healing and more, and the orally dosed DR capsules at 250 micrograms to 1 milligram per day. Now, thymosin beta 4 has a fascinating mechanism of action. Within the cell, G-actin molecules, which are considered monomers, bind together to form F-actin polymers. Now, these actin polymers are vital for a vast array of intracellular signaling cascades. For example, actin polymerization allows the intracellular proteins responsible for the NF-kappa B signaling cascade to ensure. Now, the NF-kappa B signaling cascade is an inflammatory signaling response that increases the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines. Now, thymosin beta 4 appears to potently stimulate stem cell differentiation. Now, these stem cells subsequently can integrate themselves within damaged tissue or even healthy tissue and improve wound healing and tissue regeneration. Looking at angiogenesis, thymosin beta 4 increases stem cell differentiation and migration, as well as alters cytoskeleton dynamics to allow for an increase in angiogenesis. Now, which is the formation of new blood vessels. Now, the increase in supercharged effect on angiogenesis increases nutrient supply and therefore deformation, regeneration of damaged tissue. Now, the antioxidant properties of thymosin beta 4's regulation of pro-inflammatory signaling cascades. Thymosin beta 4 appears to decrease the production of reactive oxygen species and inflammatory cytokines, thus having an overall anti-inflammatory effect. Now, TB4 in the liver, if we look within the liver, TB4 or thymosin beta 4 can prevent liver inflammation and liver fibrosis by disrupting the actin polymerization process that induces fibrosis of damaged liver cells. Now, due to thymosin beta 4's long length, that's 43 amino acids, it is not readily absorbed within the gastrointestinal tract. However, thymosin beta 4 fragments, ACSDKP and ACLKKTETQ, do appear to be efficacious than thymosin beta 4 full length when taken orally. All in all, thymosin beta 4 fragments can have noticeable effects on tissue regeneration, stem cell activity, immune system modulation, and aiding preventing neurodegenerative disease and liver fibrosis. Now, thymosin beta 4 fragment, ACSDKP, may be more efficacious than direct thymosin beta 4 supplementation due to its enhanced oral bioavailability and absorptive capacity. The next one, as a very popular peptide of 2024, is KPV peptide. Now, KPV peptide is a tripeptide fragment of alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone, such as also known as alpha MSH. Now, KPV is often used for its healing, anti-inflammatory, and immune modulatory benefits and effects. Now, this peptide can be directly taken up within gastrointestinal cells, lungs, and throughout the rest of the body. Now, upon entry, KPV reduces the production and activity of inflammatory cytokines, which is why the clinical use of KPV is typically in inflammatory diseases like chronic inflammatory response syndrome and inflammatory bowel disorders. Now, KPV can prevent further inflammatory stress and promote the regeneration of the damaged tissue. Now, if we look at the benefits, it's a potent anti-inflammatory, can heal IBS, SIBO, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, and basically many different GI conditions. It regenerates nerves, it speeds wound healing. It's a mast cell stabilizer, so helping with histamine issues. It's antifungal, so it kills candida yeast more effective than diflucan and mold. It also has antimicrobial properties, so it kills bacteria, possibly including Lyme. The research is ongoing. Prevents allergic asthma, treats inflammatory skin conditions such as eczema, acne, psoriasis. It has potential to help with Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, POTS, and other neurodegenerative disorders. So we can see that KPV has a pretty wide spectrum of benefits. And looking at the mechanism of action, we won't go into too much detail because it's quite complicated, but basically what happens is KPV is taken into cells via the PEPT1 transporter. Now, within the cell, KPV appears to be able to inhibit the transcription and production of inflammatory compounds, namely TNF alpha, interleukin 8, and metalloproteinase 9. In addition, KPV reduces the inflammation-induced oxidative stress within damaged cells. Via this mechanism, KPV can reduce inflammatory lung damage, liver damage, skin damage, intestinal damage, and reduce systemic inflammation in its entirety. So, like I said before, KPV is designed for those who have, suffered from major inflammatory issues with lungs, gut issues, connective tissue. KPV can be used for those simply looking to feel better and reduce inflammation, and for those looking to heal from an inflammatory condition. These are what I would say very powerful peptides of 2024. I've also mentioned the dileucine muscle building peptide. That's another one that I'm a fan of. So that wraps up today's podcast. If you did find this episode helpful, please consider leaving a review. Thank you very much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in the next podcast.